Okay, so this is what a template would look like if you're going to start to make a cone. There's a couple variations of how to make a cone. This is if you're doing a tabbing type system, right? Some of you are soldering if it's smaller, but if it gets larger than this, I would not solder it. It's going to be a hard seam to do, okay? So this is what your template would look like. And after you have that sawn out, you then start to curl it up with your fingers after you anneal it so it's soft. So then you're going to overlap these two parts. Does everybody see that? And then eventually you're going to curl these two around it. Is everybody all right? Okay. So that when you're done, you have something like this. Do you see how it's connected? Can you see that, Travis?
Beautiful.
Okay. Thank you. The other method was if you wanted to do something like the cereal box. Remember how it has a tab that tucks in? That's what this would look like. And you would have to have a slit on the other side, which I've done here to show you that this would tuck inside here. Does that make sense? So that you end up with that. I find this one to be a little more challenging, but I think it's kind of neat. Okay, so once you have it tabbed together, what I do is I use the anvil a little bit. So I'm not going to fully do this one because I need it as another example, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the horn. Look, it's a perfect shape for a cone. Huh, like it was invented for a cone. So I'm tapping it down. Everybody see how I tapped it down? Then I'm going to use my pliers and I'm going to bend this up, and I'm going to bend this up. Does everybody see that? Then I'm going to use my hammer again, and I'm going to tap it down. And I'm going to tap it down. Is everybody picking up what I'm throwing down? Okay. So then once I have it centered to where I want it to be, I would hammer it kind of a little harder so that it actually stays. All right, I'm going to leave this one loose so I can show my next class. So now I have this. It's not going to come apart. I've hammered it. I've pinched it closed and then I've hammered it. So it's in there. I mean, I could deconstruct it if I want to, but we don't want to do that. Okay, so I have a regular cone that has no form to it. What if I want a cone that goes like this a little bit? What if I want a cone that goes like this a little bit? You can do that a little bit with hammers, all right? So what I recommend using is, I love using the horn of the anvil because I feel like it's the perfect shape for a cone. There's also this form here, which is also like a mini anvil, depending on the shape and size of your cone. If you're making a huge cone, this is a taper. This is a taper. Anything that's tapered is going to allow you to get a cone shape. These are tapered. So whatever you find to be something that will work. Now, when you're forming something, you're resting it on the anvil part that you want to use, and then you're hammering where there's a little bit of void of air, so that you're hammering down to the anvil, but there's a little bit of space that you're making it go down to. So I'm going to show you a little bit of how you can make this cone go from straight to just dip a little bit. Okay? I'm going to use a hammer that will allow me to get into that area. So I'm going to use a rounded one. Okay? I'm going to do a smaller one just to show you how it moves very quickly. So I'm like this. I'm not right like this. I'm holding it up. Does everybody see that? And I'm going like this. And you'll see. Actually, I want to use a bigger hammer. I'm not used to using it. Okay. You can't go too much at a time. You have to gradually turn it. But can you see it already?
Yeah.
Okay, can you see the profile of that? So I've curved it already. I can go so once I go all the way around, that's called one round, okay? If I wanted to dip, so right now it's kind of going like this. If I wanted it to slope all the way to the point, what do you think I would do? Does anybody have a guess?
Slowly go towards the center.
Yeah, keep making concentric circles that get closer and closer to the point. going all the way around, holding it at an angle so that each hammer blow, if there's a hollow spot, but you're hammering the metal down. So you always want to go in a circle, like you're going down a spiral staircase, all right? Do not ever go down like you're going down a slide. That will not work, okay? Does everybody understand? You need me to hammer more, or you got it? What if I wanted to make it puff like this?
Back from the top of the point.
You use the point of it and then push down. The point of the end.
And push down. Maybe. I'm going to show you a little bit on this one what you would do. I'm just going to have to hammer this down. Just going to have to go for it and hammer it down, you guys.
Hammer the point down.
Okay, so if I have another cone and I want it to kind of go like this a little bit, now we don't have every tool we need for a metalsmithing studio, but you can get a little bit of movement. So instead of holding it like this, I'm going to hold it like this on the end, and I'm going to hammer it. I still start at the very end of the cone and work my way down. And because I'm hitting it around it, I'm probably going to use a flatter side of my hammer. And it just depends on what size hammer you're comfortable with to what tone you have. So you see how I'm starting to curve it down? So if I wanted it to kind of be like that all the way down to the tip, I would do the same thing. After I went all the way around here, I would slide it up a little bit and hammer it that way. So you're going the opposite way depending on what shape you want to do. Got it? Okay. That is how you form a cone.